because they're uncomfortable. And it's going to be, but it's safer than being under his authority in the prison. How many prison movies have you seen where the guard over abuses his power on an inmate that he doesn't like? Okay, so get out of their jurisdiction. You have to get out of their then they're not, that's how you take their power away. Then he's no longer a cop. A cop in California, if I move to Oregon, he's not a cop. When he comes to Oregon, he's just a citizen. Okay? He has none of the power that he had in California. So get out of his jurisdiction. If you're in prison, transfer to another prison to get away from your bully guard. If you're on probation, finish your probation. If you can't finish it, you need to transfer to another. It's hard. It's hard because you're transferring. He has to approve the transfer. So see how much power he has. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I remember when I had a parole officer, and my own brother was also on parole, and they have a rule: parolees cannot socialize with each other. I needed permission from my probation officer to have a conversation with my brother. So they have tremendous power over your life. Okay? So they can approve where you live and where you don't live. When they come into a house, if they don't like it, they say, you can't live here. Go find another place to live. Right? They can do that. Okay? So it's incredibly risky to mess with these people, and never be one of those guys where I know my rights. Penal code. No. The fact that you're quoting law to a law enforcement officer means you don't know your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Use it. You have the right to move out of the jurisdiction. Do it. Because to me, law enforcement and a lot of other government agencies is a Godzilla walking through Tokyo, smash buildings. And you're going to stand there on Tokyo Road and you're going to say, hey, Godzilla, I'm walking here. I have rights. This is my right. You're going to get smashed. And Godzilla just going to keep on walking. Because there's no way. Bullies only respect you coming from a position of strength. You can't come from a position of strength to a law enforcement officer. They are the strongest. They carry guns. They send people to prison. They shoot and kill people. No one else has that level of power that a cop does. So the rules of engagement are: get out of there. Get away. Now, some of you may be trapped by a cop bully, okay? Let's say I'm dating a girl and I'm in love with her, and her ex-boyfriend was a cop. And he's not happy that I'm dating her, and he's got it in for me. Well, me and that girl should move out of his jurisdiction, get out of his jurisdiction, because it's too dangerous to stay where he can reach us, okay? And don't ever do anything to provoke him or anger him further, because they're loose cannons and they can react violently. And so you get out of the area, get out of their jurisdiction, move, okay? Unless you're in prison, you can always move. The probationer can't move as easily, but I feel like this. Figure it out, man. Because if I was on probation and the probation officer was, trying to bust me for something I didn't do or set me up or making my life super difficult. Like, for example, you could you have a requirement on probation. You either go to school or you go to work. That's a rule, because they feel like you ain't doing nothing. You just sitting at home. No, you're probably doing crime. So that's how they think. And it's a good thought, because if I'm not in school and I'm not at work, what am I doing? I'm on probation or parole, so I must be doing crime. I'm not sitting putting a puzzle together. I'm not, okay? So the truth is, they have the authority. Like my boss, my parole officer could say this: "Oh, you're working at that factory? Yeah, I don't like it there. I don't think it's right for you, and you need to find another job." He has that much power, okay? He can violate you for anything. If you're late to one of his, he says, "I want to see you Monday at 9 a.m. in my office," and you come at 9:05, he can arrest you, okay? So many things, man. If you were ordered by the court to pay you restitution back and you didn't pay it, or you're late paying it, yeah, arrest him. They put him back in the prison. So these men have tremendous power over you, and you don't want to provoke them or add gas to the flame. You want to get out of their way, be as invisible and as quiet. When a cop pulls me over, I'm like, "Yes, sir. No, sir. Have a nice day, sir." I'm not provoking in any way. And that's what I'm recommending to you, because people get shot. People get arrested and roughed up, and extra charges and fake charges. So cops set people up all the time, okay? So here's the things that you want to do if you have this type of bully situation, okay? You want to, first of all, silently record all interactions with the bully cop or the bully probation officer, okay? So hidden cameras, hidden body cameras, GoPros, whatever you need to do to record every interaction. Amazon sells a hidden body camera for $50 that the eyepiece, the camera piece, is as small as the tip of this pen. And the controller is in your pocket. So you push play and it's silently recording, and you can push stop when you want. But you could be in the probation office. This button here could be actually the camera button, the camera eye. And then you come in and you just push play, and he say, yeah, you're screwing up, and he's threatening you and stuff, and you're catching it all on video recording. It's not like you could share that with anyone. This is just in case you disappear. If your enemy disappears you, I want you to have those recordings sent to a family member or a friend that will share it with the media. Hey, Alex was having a beef. He was having a conflict with his parole officer, and he gave me these videos, evidence of the harassment. And he says, if I disappear, to go to the media and say that the cops disappeared me. It won't do much, because there's 10 stories like that every day online. Okay? There is a jail. There is a sheriff's office in Mississippi, and they there was a mass grave in the back of the sheriff's office. They dug up over 600 dead bodies was in that mass grave. And what it was they would arrest someone, and he has a big mouth, and he's talking all this stuff. I'm going to get my lawyer, and you're going to be sorry, and I'm going to sue you for this and that. And they shoot him in the head and bury him in the mass grave. And they did this 600 and some times. 600, and that's just one police department. One police department in Mississippi. One. Why don't you take a guess how many other police departments have a mass grave in the back? Okay? The bottom line is this. I'm trying to give you helpful advice to don't end up in that mass grave. Okay? So, when a cop pulls you over, yes sir, no sir. When the parole officer, try to reset the relationship. Okay? If you offended your parole officer, here's what I would do. I can't switch parole officers. I can't, okay? Because he has to approve that transfer, and he's not going to. He wants to pick on me. He wants to hurt me. So, what did I do to him? Did I date his mom or something? What did I do? How do I make it right? If I just offended him with words or with my, attitude or an argument, I would say, look, Mr. Jones, I know we had our conflict, but I want you to know today's a new day. I'm going to do whatever you ask me to do. No more, I'm not going to give you no more hassle. Whatever you ask me, I'm going to do it. And I'm sorry for what we did. You have to eat crow, because remember that mass grave? All of those guys thought they were coming from a position of strength. No, they were not. They're in a mass grave now. Listen to my advice. I've seen men destroyed by the police for little or no reason at all. Okay? So don't be that. Don't be that way. Okay? Don't be a victim. Okay? Okay, so it's an unwinnable situation. Your best advice is to move. Silently record all interactions with the bully cop. Silently record all contact with him. Okay? Background check. That's going to be tricky. You know why? Because all private investigators, they are also former cops, and they're not going to do a background check on an existing cop. There's just no way they're going to do it. But what I want you to do is, if you think this is dangerous, right? First get out of the way, out of the area, record all in contact with that person. But it would be nice to know, has he done this before? That's how that mass grave was found. Was the people saw a black young man, a black teen, get arrested by the cop. But then the cop said, no, I never arrested anyone. No, I haven't seen anyone. So the mom started sneaking around, and she found the mass grave in the back. And then she told the feds went with shovels and dug up 600 people. So if it wasn't for mom, they would never have discovered the grave. Okay? So this is an unwinnable conflict. You cannot possibly win. The best thing you could do is try to smooth things over as much as possible, and say, look, from here on out, I'm going to do what you say. I'm not going to give you no hassle. I'm walking straight and narrow. Okay? That's what they want to hear. Okay? They want to see you bow down and say, yes sir, no sir. I'm not going to say nothing else. Okay? So give the video evidence of your interactions and the threats and the hostility. Okay, give all evidence of the harassment to a trusted friend, in case you disappear. Okay? You tell the friend, hey, I have beef with Officer Jones. Here's his information, what I know of him. He's got it in for me. So if I disappear, I want you, here's the evidence, and this is why I disappeared. Okay? Okay. If you are physically safe for the moment, and if you don't see that there's no way to remedy this situation, you will have to go talk to an attorney. Good luck with that. Good luck finding an attorney who's willing to represent you and get a restraining order, a protection order, and it's not that easy, okay? But what choice do you have? That's why I'm saying it's unwinnable. None of this is easy or fun or winnable. It's all ugly, okay? So this is an unwinnable situation. Guess what the other unwinnable situation is? Gangs. Now, if you just got a group of 5 taggers in your neighborhood, that's not a gang. I'm talking about gangs. Gangs that are so violent that even the police are afraid to go into your neighborhood. If you live in that neighborhood, the same advice applies. Move! Get out of their jurisdiction. If you are living in Compton Crips neighborhood, move out of Compton Crips neighborhood. Simple. Move to a safe non-gang area. You deserve to live in a non-gang place. Okay, so that's my advice for law enforcement bullies, and I wish you the best of luck.